Oona Tamsyn King, Baroness King of Bow is a Labour politician and former Chief Diversity Officer of Channel 4. She had previously served as a Labour Party Member of Parliament for Bethnal Green and Bow from 1997 until 2005, when she was defeated by George Galloway, the Respect candidate. Early life: King, who is mixed race, was born in Sheffield, West Riding of Yorkshire, to Preston King, an African-American academic, and his wife, Morale Hazel, a Jewish social justice activist. She is the niece of the medical doctor Miriam Stoppard, while her cousin is the actor Ed Stoppard. On her father's side, she comes from a line of civil rights activists and successful entrepreneurs. Her paternal grandfather, the civil rights activist, Clennon Washington King, Sr. fathered 7 sons. C.B. King, a pioneering civil rights attorney, is her uncle. King was educated at Haverstock Comprehensive Secondary School on Crogland Road in Chalk Farm, London, and was a contemporary of fellow Labour politicians David Miliband and his younger brother Ed. It was at Haverstock that she first showed political ambition, telling her career's teachers she wanted to become Prime Minister. Librarian work was suggested instead. At the beginning of her period as an undergraduate at University of York, she was briefly a member of the Socialist Workers' Party. During her second year she gained a scholarship to the University of California, Berkeley, and graduated with a first-class honors politics degree in 1990. Political career: before becoming an MP, King was on the European Parliament's Economic and Monetary Affairs Committee, and worked as a political assistant to Glenn Ford MEP, the Labour Party leader in the European Parliament, and later Glenys Kinnock MEP. From 1995 to Euro 97, she was a political organiser for the GMB Southern region. She was selected to represent the seat of Bethnal Green and Bow early in 1997. Peter Shaw had announced his retirement early, but faction fighting in the constituency Labour Party led to party headquarters delaying the selection and imposing its own shortlist. Some leading competitors from the local Bangladeshi community were not included. Parliamentary career: by winning the seat in 1997, King became only the second black woman to be elected as Member of Parliament, the first being Diane Abbott. She was selected as one of 100 Great Black Britons for this achievement. In her truly first-class maiden speech, King described the racial abuse she and her family had suffered as a child. She referred to herself as multi-ethnic, representing a truly multicultural constituency where hardship and deprivation gave birth to Britain's greatest social reforms. She described William Beveridge and Clement Attlee as surrounded by an East End infant mortality rate of 55%, and said this led to social reforms including the NHS. She emphasised a need for coherence in the strategy for eradicating poverty and the role of education in its elimination. King was also a passionate advocate of international aid and human rights. She served on the International Development Select Committee, and she served as the vice-chair of the All-Parliamentary Group on Bangladesh. She was selected to second the Queen's Speech debate in November 2002, where she also discussed her views on genocide and a trip to Rwanda. She served as the Parliamentary Private Secretary to the Secretary of State for Trade and Industry and the Minister for E-Commerce. King supported the 2003 invasion of Iraq, which was controversial for the constituency's large Muslim population. This support was used against her in the election campaign of Respect's George Galloway, who later defeated her in the 2005 general election. The campaign for the seat contained strong comments from both candidates. She subsequently changed her views, after viewing the poor handling of Hurricane Katrina and its aftermath by the United States. It shows that America has no grasp whatever on the activity needed to rebuild a destroyed city. And if they can't do that in their own country, then it's obvious why they can't do it in Iraq. So, I regret that we went to war with a country that has shown itself to be incapable of the very basic actions required to deal with post-conflict reconstruction. She however maintained that she does not regret voting for the war in Iraq. I could never have voted against getting rid of Saddam Hussein. He was responsible for the deaths of 1 million people. 2005 general election Bethnal Green and Bow with its almost 45,000 Muslims was Galloway's best chance to defeat Labour in what became a bitter single-issue campaign. King described the contest as one of the dirtiest we have ever seen in British politics, and complained of quite disturbing anti-Semitic and racial abuse. She was the putative target of vegetable and egg throwers during a memorial service commemorating the Second World War bombing of a block of flats with predominantly Jewish victims. King claimed it was a deliberate part of Respect's campaign, but Galloway's representative Ron Mackay denied any accusation of racial abuse. Both candidates were given police protection, King after her tires were slashed and Galloway after a death threat. King lost the seat by 823 votes, a 26.2% swing from King to Galloway. King said that whilst the war had been a major issue, false claims in the Bangladeshi press that she wanted to get rid of halal meat had played a part. 2005 2009 King had said that she would remain in Bethnal Green and Bow with her constituency office funded from the GMB trade union, attempting to act as an unofficial MP. However, later in 2005, she began a career in the media, saying I wanted to be an MP all my life, and when it didn't work, I thought, well then, I'll just have to go down a different path. In 2007, King published her autobiography The Oona King Diaries, House Music. In 2008, Prime Minister Gordon Brown appointed her to act as his senior policy advisor on equalities and diversity and faith. In January 2009, King was appointed head of diversity at Channel 4. She continues to live in Mile End, in a converted pub. 2010 London mayoral campaign. In 2010, King unsuccessfully challenged Ken Livingstone for the Labour nomination in the 2012 election for Mayor of London. King's first campaign speech, at Haverstock School, focused on engagement with young people as a way of reducing knife crime and helping them achieve their potential. In June 2010, she was shortlisted and in an interview with The Independent emphasized both her experience of pushing and pulling the levers of power, that is her experience of negotiating with top ministers, and also her willingness to work with political opponents. Her opponent, Ken Livingstone, accused her of using inappropriate methods of obtaining email addresses of Labour Party supporters. King denied the allegation. King had the backing of Neil Kinnock, Ben Bradshaw, and Alan Johnson. On September 24, 2010, Livingstone won the nomination. Peerage. On January 26, 2011, King was created a life peer as Baroness King of Bow in the London Borough of Tower Hamlets. She was introduced in the House of Lords on January 31, 2011, where she sits on the Labour benches. When her appointment was announced in November 2010, she resigned as a constituency representative to the Labour National Executive Committee, to which she had recently been elected, before attending her first meeting. Upon taking her seat in the Lords, she stood down from her diversity officer role with Channel 4. In 2012, she was elected to the Progress Strategy Board as a parliamentarian. Personal life. In 1994, King married Italian Tiberio Santamarco, while working for an MEP in Brussels. The couple have 3 adopted children, as well as a 4th child born to a surrogate mother in 2013. She is fluent in Italian and French. Media work. King has made appearances on television shows such as This Week, The Daily Politics, The All-Star Talent Show and Have I Got News for You. She hosted a BBC Two documentary on Martin Luther King and the Deep South entitled American Prophet. In January 2013, she appeared on the skating show Dancing on Ice, being voted off January 20. References. External links: Hansard 1803 Euro 2005, Contributions in Parliament by Oona King, Ask Aristotle Euro Oona King The Guardian Politics, Oona King MP TheyWorkForYou.com, Oona King BBC News, April 21, 2006 A Euro essay for BBC One's This Week, Oona King 100 Great Black Britons, Oona King Israel Can Hold This Now, The Guardian, June 12, 2003, Shock win for Galloway in London BBC News, May 6, 2005, Post-election Oona King interview, audio, Today, BBC Radio 4, May 11, 2005, The exile and his daughter Preston King, scholar, author, draft evader, 40 years in waiting for a pardon. Essence Magazine, February 2001, Q. Did anti-Semitism cost you the election? A. Definitely. There was Iraq, of course, but it was particularly being Jewish. Emma Brox talks to former Labour MP Oona King, The Guardian, September 12, 2005. BBC Radio 4 programme about King's family's fight for civil rights in the US.